Easy. I need access to the
National Criminal Database.
It's right here.
You must spend a lot of time here.
Cool poem box. You're bypassing the network security. But you'll need to physically bridge the intranet to the external telecom wires if you want to uplink remotely.
This kind of
Knowledge could get a young girl into a lot of trouble.
They run under the building.
What
does?
The telecom wires. You can access them through the sewers. Wait. Why do you do what you do?
Because I made a promise.
Wow, it's a great day for the early years to come around like this, but yeah, looks pretty good on that suit. Oh yes, by the way, it's time to punch crime in the face. This is Arkham Twin Days. Hi there, viewers. This is Leo Wolverine, your game commentator, founding member of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. And we are about to tell another story, and guess what? And this time it's Arkham Origins storyline. So yeah, the first Arkham Origins storyline. So, Arkham Origins, this is where it all began when he had before the other bat suit, if you want to know. So, he was looking at through his monitors, if you want to know, and he finds out that there's been a prison break of a prison riot break during Blackgate Prison. Of course, he had to get there as quick as possible using the Batwing. You know, the plane, not the other guy of just the Batwing of the plane. Okay, of course there is the name of Batwing, which is the hero, not the plane. But just bear with me. Okay, whatever. So, yes. There is a massive jailbreak. He's able to put these bad guys down and put these prisoners back into their cells at Blackgate Prison. Not very many people know, but that Batman is the creature of the night of Transylvania. But the people do fear that Batman thinks he is like the masked vigilante who does take chances and make mistakes and get messy. Of course, many people know about who the Batman is. Some say that he's just a mythical creature. Others say he's real. Of course, he had to rescue Warden Joseph, the guy with one eye. Of course, in Arkham Origins, there's so many people who are kinda corrupt in their own way, because usually they don't know how to take care of their job, or usually they like to keep people under wraps, if you want to know, and it's not the way that Batman sees to it. He knows the city is going under, and it's during the winter time on Christmas Eve. So yep, dressed like a bat in Christmas Eve. He is able to rescue Warden Joseph, able to stop the prisoners in Blackgate Prison. Of course, there was this one big, massive crocodile that he had to, that had to take him out, that had to stop. And it's none other than Killer Croc. He has like this Southern Cajun voice accent, which is pretty good. I mean, I really love it. I mean, kind of almost reminded that the voice actor that sounded more back in of the Batman TV show, which is kind of like Kung Fu Batman. Of course, I love that show. And guess what? And Killer Croc is working with none other than Roman Sionis, also known as Black Mask. So, yep, Black Mask. And he kind of says this to Commissioner Loeb, that you are not on the party list. And he says, I'm not on the list. And I thought I helped you out, Sionis. We have done things together you and me all the time? I mean, yeah, I mean, Commissioner Loeb, he may be the commissioner, but he's also kind of crooked as well. The only person who's not completely crooked on Arkham Origins is none other than Captain James Gordon. He is the only one who has not been crooked, and he's always the good cop. But of course he does have struggle issues working with Commissioner Loeb and then others. I mean, of course he does his own thing, if you want to know. So Commissioner Loeb is taken into this gas chamber, and then he has been gassed, and then Batman tried to save him, but he was too late. He was inside the air ducts into the vents, so he was able to get out of the vent and able to break through that bullet glass proof window, and he is able to do that. He was too late to save Commissioner Loeb anyways. Poor him. The commissioner was too young to die. Well, he was old enough, but of course he's old enough. I don't know how old he is, possibly in his 50s perhaps, who knows. Look, I'm just guessing here. I'm not saying I don't know everything. Oh my, you don't know what's coming to you. And so, he had to stop Roman Sionis, but to do that, he had to stop Killer Croc first. Of course, Killer Croc was working with Black Mask, and usually how he would try to stand and work on his own right. Of course, Batman says, what is Black Mask doing here? He says, I don't know. The only boss is me. I mean, of course, this Batman's kind of brutal. Of course, he doesn't work with others. He says, you want teeth? I want answers. And Killer Croc says, wait till Black Mask gets you anyway, shortly. And and he has hired assassins. And Batman says, what assassins? But the ones who killed the Bat is gonna be wealthy and rich. And yeah, Batman kind of delivers a final punching blow. And he says, at least he won't be ugly. Yeah, at least Killer Croc is not that ugly. Of course, he's somewhat the ugly duckling of the Arkham series, perhaps. I mean, I don't know why. Yeah, I'll get back to the other stuff later on. But yeah, just bear with me, okay? So yeah, of course, before Batman subdued Killer Croc, he found a strange broken microchip, and also found a flying drone. He does that. Who knows of which drone whose belonged to, anyways. So he beat Killer Croc. He's able to try to get any data on that was completely destroyed. So he was able to find the pieces of data collected. And guess what? All those assassins, all those people that Black Mask hired are wanted to collect the bounty, killing the Bat for like over, how do I say, $10 million worth of money. So for one night, for one whole night, they wanted to kill the Batman for one night. If they're able to do that in one night, they're able to collect their $10 million or $10 billion. And so, $10 million or $10 billion is up for grabs. And so, the people that were hired by Black Mask is Shiva, Bane, Firefly, the Electrocutioner, Deathstroke. Yes, those who are on the job are looking for a way to stop him. And to collect the bounty. Of course, Batman is not going down that easily. So the only way to find Black Mask is to find out any one of his subordinates or closest friends or allies, and that would be the Penguin. Of course, well, if he wants to find the Penguin, he has to find one of Penguin's trustworthy lackeys, and that would be Loose Lips LeBlanc, or Richard Loose Lips LeBlanc. He is a foreman with the Penguin. However, he does not. He loves money or type of weapons. Of course, you know he is. So he had to find a way to find Rick Loose Lips LeBlanc. He had to, of course, there was a scrambling towers all over Gotham City in North and South Gotham. Of course, North and South Gotham was a little bit bigger than Arkham City. However, it's still called Arkham Origins. And yes, I'm wearing the Arkham Origins skin because it represents Arkham Origins. Thank you, WB Games Montreal. You guys done a fantastic job. I don't know why the game they call it is not canon on Arkham Origins, but to me it is part of the storyline. I mean, of course, without Firefly that happened 10 years earlier, there will be no Arkham Origins. Come on, seriously, help me out here. So, one thing is certain. He has to find Loose Lips LeBlanc, but he had to descramble the tower first. He had to rescue these workers who are in this radio tower, and he is able to rescue all of them. Of course, he had to set up a crime scene when these people were kind of being taken hostage, if you want to know. So yeah, they were taken hostage somehow, and usually, what are they going to do about it? Well, they need to find a place to hide or call themselves home. Of course, Batman wanted to find out who is the one responsible and an explosion of some sort. So he had to descramble the tower, and it was none other than Edward Nygma. Of course, he wasn't called the Riddler, if you want to know. Before he was called the Riddler. This person, whose name is Edward Nygma, before he was called the Riddler, used to work for the GCPD. He kind of had all these little dirty little secrets of people who carry them and blackmails and little white lies. And if he sends them out through his entire internet of all posting all over Gotham, people's reputations would be damaged and they will never be able to recover for years to come. So Batman has to find a way to descramble all of the towers and stop Edward Nygma's secret plot twist to destroy one person's life of workmanship. Or it was just unbelievable. It is not. It's not that simple for the Riddler, but for Batman, he will always try to get the job done. Of course, he will have to tackle down Edward Nygma later on, if you want to know. So, he is able to stop Edward Nygma's first Scrambler tower, but he has like several more towers to go. But of course, he will be having a very busy night on Christmas Eve. So, ho, ho, ho! Oh yeah, by the way, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so the entire month of October of Arkham Twin Days. Remember, it's only Tuesdays and Thursdays only, so get used to it. So he is able to... So he must find a way to descramble another one of the towers again. Oh, and then he finds Richard Loose Lips LeBlanc somewhere around the plaza of some sort. Maybe close to Jezebel Plaza, perhaps. And then he's he looks over this from this lookout from where he is at right now. He drops on Rick Loose Lips LeBlanc. And he says, well, I want to know where the Penguin is. And he says, I don't know where the Penguin is. I mean. And Batman says, where is he? And yeah, Richard Loose Lips LeBlanc kind of passed out, if you want to know. So yeah. So, Can't believe he actually passed out. Has anybody ever seen a foreman pass out all of a sudden in the first place? Maybe. I mean, it could have been worse. Batman says, wake up! Where is the Penguin? Richard says, I don't know! He only contacts me only. I'm just his foreman, his trusty advisor. And Batman sees this some kind of cell phone or this kind of walkie-talkie. It says, too late. Thanks for that device. And then he kind of let Rick Loose Lips LeBlanc go, and he says, you're crazy. I mean, this Batman character is brutal. He wants to stop crime and these crooked people who work for Roman Sionis, including the Penguin. Of course, well, parts of the Penguin, but mostly Black Mask Roman Sionis. And so, hopefully, he is able to track down one walkie-talkie radio and finding some kind of a checkpoint where Penguin's thugs and men are. Then he tries to locate another one. Of course, the Penguin, not as nice as he used to be. As always, just kind of gives out threats to his soldiers or thugs. Because, like I say, if you don't do a good job, if you don't do a bang-up job, I'm going to do this to you in the near future. He says, yes, sir, Mr. Cobblepot. Sorry, Mr. Cobblepot. And so, found another station of Penguin's thugs, if you want to know. So, yeah, things are getting pretty interesting. And Batman kind of has difficulty of where Penguin's at. So the only way to get into that walkie-talkie is to find... Oh boy. Oh boy. Is to find the ship called the Final Offer. He was hidden the whole time. No wonder then Batman says, no wonder he's very hard to track down. Or very hard to find. Yeah, he is pretty hard to find. Of course, Batman is going to go to the Final Offer. He has to take down the Penguin thugs on the ship, on the Final Offer. Able to do that, and he was able to do so. He's able to get inside the ship of the Final Offer. And, yeah, a bunch of Penguin thugs are somewhere lurking around in some rooms or the door. Kind of looks like a jailhouse to me of some sort. And so for that, if he wants to get, he had to find somebody. So Batman wants to get into this ring. However, the door is locked. the only way to get inside is to go up. Ow, that hurts with the car. Ah, you got punched. Okay, so one thing is for certain. He had to get, the only way to do that is to beat a bunch of thugs. Of course, he wants to say, "Tell me where the Penguin is." And can't, I don't know, perhaps Candy or some sort of course, yeah, the Penguin is kind of a ladies' man, but he likes to see them that are naughty, which is being nice in the naughty type of way. So, yeah, I see where this is going, huh? And so, he had to face the electrocutioner. Of course, the electrocutioner was kind of way too easy for Batman to defeat, so he kind of threw this one wicked one-man punch, and electrocutioner, also known as Lester Paczynski, is down for the count. Just for one punch or one kick. That was it. Out for the count. He's out cold. And you know how that goes. He had to. The only way to know where to find Black Mask is to answer the Penguin himself. So, I'm redecorating of this entire garage, okay? So yeah, bear with me. And so, if he was there, he might know where Black Mask is. Of course, he had to rescue a hostage in a predator area, and it's one of how do I say this? Carmine Falcone's people. Of course, it has been to be the butler, I suppose, or some sort of. And he had to rescue Alberto Falcone, who's being taken hostage against the Penguin. He had to tell them that I want you, Alberto, and your father, Carmine.
I want you and your father out of the business when I take over the empire.
Or something like that. He says, "All right, I'll get my dad to convince that we will no longer work there anymore."
He says, "I can hear your words, but I'm not hearing them flapping. Ooh, I'm gonna get you. Ooh,
yeah, he got this electrical baton stick, which he uses. I don't know why, but that works too. And so Batman's able to take down the Penguin thugs inside the final offer, and Batman finally gets a chance to talk to the Penguin. He says, "Oh no, I know you. I haven't done anything wrong. You're coming looking for me." Batman says, "Black Mask, put a bounty on my head. Where is he?" "How should I know? Nobody knows what few people know what Black Mask location." And he said, and Batman says, "You're running out of time." So the Penguin, even though he may not know where he is, but he does know what happened back then. He says, "Back at Lacey Towers, there was a murder that happened. The Black Mask was dead all of a sudden." And so, I mean, Black Mask dead? I mean, didn't Batman already try to stop Black Mask like a little while ago back in Blackgate Prison? So, yeah, I don't know why, but he's starting to get a bit confused himself. But all of a sudden, out of like a ninja appearance out of nowhere, Deathstroke has appeared. And he has come here to collect the bounty. So, yes, Deathstroke, a.k.a. Slade Wilson. And Batman says, "Tell me where I can find Black Mask." Of course, Deathstroke says, "A bat! Why does it always have to be a bat?" Or, there's some other stuff. Of course, Batman was able to defeat Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, who is the mercenary and a bounty hunter. Of course, Batman does not kill, of course. Deathstroke is trying to get him to convince him to stop him, or whether it's either kill me or be dead. So that's what he's trying to go for, I suppose. So yeah, I don't know, but the battle scene was pretty amazing between Batman and Deathstroke, and Batman just whooped Deathstroke his butt ski. So yeah, he whooped his butt ski. Of course, he had to go talk to Penguin again, but the doors were locked. Is he still in the final offer, or so it seems? But who knows? I mean, it's interesting. Of course, he had to get Deathstroke's new gadget called the Remote Claw. Of course, it belongs to Batman's property, which he can use for, into this long to reach places, even though he cannot, he could glide in the air, but he needs some breathing space room to find a way to get to the other side, of course. There's some places that you can't just cross normally. And so he got the Remote Claw. Of course, he went out. So if he was able to find, since the electrocutioner got away, it was kind of very amateurish. He would have taken him into custody and not let him go. Of course, he will find the electrocutioner way later on. And so the only way that Penguin gave him enough info is he must head to Lacey Towers. He heads to Lacey Towers quickly. Of course, he had to deal with some crooked GCPD cops, of course. After all, they do want to get paid by the hour, I suppose. Of course, there is the side quest missions. Just like in Arkham City, I don't explain most of the side quest missions, but of course, for that would happen, yeah, he had to stop Anarchy. He had to stop Lady Shiva as well. He had to, sooner or later, he'll come up with more of these people that he had to stop with that's coming along the way. And so for that, oh boy, I'm gathering as much info as I possibly could. So he went to Lacey Towers, stopping the crooked GCPD officers first. And the thing is, he finds it very interesting. This murder just happened days ago, after when Penguin kind of showed up all of a sudden. So he began to investigate the crime scene. He says that guy looks like wearing a black mask. So he analyzes it, and then he has the ability to go back in time to use it as a cheat sheet and not a tool. Yet one of Roman Sionis' girlfriends was actually dead or some sort, or being hanging on the chandelier, and then, or the other, or I'm not saying other chandelier, maybe, I'm guessing Roman wants to grow a harem, I suppose. Kind of reminds me of you-know-who, tried to run away from his what happens or what ifs, okay? So, yeah. But enough of that. It's just, oh my. That's just completely funny. Oh, yes. Here's another thing. Oh, so, since he finds out what happened around Lacey Towers, he finds a cell phone a cell phone that one of Roman Sionis' girlfriends had. And the text message says something about the Joker. So Batman says, "Who is this Joker? Is he the one I'm after? Is he the one who killed off Roman Sionis, who's Black Mask?" So, yeah, that is kind of what goes on. And so Batman told Alfred about what happened in Lacey Towers during the murder. The Penguin was here, but it was after the murder. So the only finding the criminal records is back in GCPD. So he had to go into the lion's den of where the cops are, including James Gordon himself. Of course, he doesn't want to get spotted by Captain James Gordon, also known as Jim Gordon, who is not the commissioner yet. Okay, so is a doozy or a doozy or somewhat and so on and so forth. Pretty cool if you ask me. He had to take out the GCPD cops on top of the roof. He doesn't want to go right in front of the front doors because people will find that like it's not very common to see a giant bat walking in front of the GCPD doors and then all of a sudden everybody gets spooked as an officer of GCPD. So he had to go to the rooftops. He take out the cops first silently. He doesn't kill, just quietly takes them down silently. And so he's able to get inside the GCPD. And so he had to find an archive system from the records of some sort. So, oh boy. He had to collect this flash grenade or a concussion grenade. I mean, back in the Batcave first. So then, yeah, he had to get the concussion grenade to collect it. If you want to know, now he's back at. First he was back at the Batcave. Now he's went to GCPD. I'm sorry. Now that he's inside the GCPD, he has to move carefully and quietly. Of course, he doesn't want to get shot with that many times against Officer Brandon or Officer Brayton, because he wants the bounty of Batman's head, if you want to know. So yeah, he wants the bounty on Batman's head for that $10 million or $10 billion offer for one night only, thanks to Black Mask. And why did Batman keep hearing the words, "I thought Black Mask is already dead"? So why did this officer say that Black Mask is giving us this opportunity to stop and find the Batman himself? Really? Something's going on, and it doesn't seem right. It just seems completely off to me. Ooh. So he had to move quietly on the tippity top of with using the remote claw by not making any noise. Of course, Officer Brandon or Brayden kind of had another idea, but making Captain James Gordon's life a lot harder, because Brandon is not a really good GCPD cop. In fact, he's really crooked, if you want to know, and he's just as twisted, very much. It is just not the type of day. Oh my. Okay, over here, thug. Thank you. So, into the GCPD go. He has to find a way to get inside, finding the archives. Of course, he found some, he tried to find his way through it, and then he tried to rescue this poor guy off from the streets. Of course, he says, get yourself to a shelter. But this guy says, anarchy, you don't get it, man. Anarchy gets it, but you don't get it, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, what's going on here? Oh, boy. It just never gets easier than that. Easier than does, or easy does it, or whatsoever. Oh, boy. Since he is able to find the location of where the archives is at, he just needs to get inside. However, he needs to use the cryptographic sequencer. However, the cryptographic sequencer is being scrambled by this specialized jammer that allows the people who try to hack into things, if you want to know. So he asked Alfred some help to find where is this jammer located. Of course, the only way to find a location of that jammer is where Richard Loose Lips LeBlanc knows. It says it's held up in the evidence locker, but he might know a little bit more of how to find it, where the location is at, or some sort. So he talked to Richard Loose Lips LeBlanc again by silently taking out a GCPD officer or some detective. Of course, it says, you got a lot of nerve of trying to drop me off like that. It says, no, I've got questions that I need to answer. How does this disruptor work? And Richard Loose Lips LeBlanc says, how should I know? Ask one of the pigs. He says, how about we take a walk up on the roof? Yeah, and Richard, yeah, he doesn't want to take a walk on the roof again. So he tells Batman everything. So yeah, and Batman delivers the punch. So he's able to find the weapons jammer or the disabling jammer of some sort. Is able to jam off the signal. He has to go down way into the GCPD building, like in the sub-levels. So he is able to do that. Getting passed through, in and out, and of course Officer Brandon had to release the prisoners like this is a jail breakout. And so we could drive Commissioner Captain James Gordon batty. And that's what Officer Brandon is, a crooked cop who wants to stay for GCPD, who wants this job so bad. It is just, oh my, it's just not gonna go well for Captain James Gordon. However, since Batman is inside the GCPD building, it's not a problem. Oh my. Why do things always like to go Officer Brandon's way very much? It never does. He does like to commit jailbreaks. Of course, the officer who says, did you cause this break? Says, no, but Officer Brandon did. Like, Brandon? Why would he do that? And I thought I only came by for a nice quiet break here. And Batman said, you must be new here. So yeah, he's new. So he is able to, oh boy, able to get the weapons jammer, stopping the thugs that are going out on break, including that venom user who's inside the jail, of course. And now another thing. So he's able to go up there, disable the signal that's jamming his cryptographic sequencer, and now he is able to get inside. Of course, he had to stop the GCPD officers inside a predator area before he get that weapons jammer. Yeah, things don't get easy, but for the Batman, it is not that hard for him. Of course, the officers thought it's gonna be really hard to take him down, of course. Oh my. Ow. That hurts. Oh my gosh. There must have been a bunch of officers inside GCPD that's going on, and how could Batman able to take them all on? Of course he has to take them all on, but not all of them. So, since he's now in the archives, Barbara Gordon, who is not paralyzed on the waist down, comes in, and Batman says, "Easy, I'm not here to hurt you." Of course, yeah, I mean, Barbara Gordon's there, of course, looking at the archives of some sort. Yeah, Batman's downloading everything with this poem box. So Barbara Gordon tells him everything of it. You need to go to the telecom wires underneath the GCPD. It's straight in the sewers. And Batman says, This kind of knowledge could get you into a lot of trouble." But Batman does kind of find a liking that she is helping out. Which is kind of a sweet way. But Barbara says, "Wait, why do you do what you do?" And Batman says, "Because I made a promise." And then all of a sudden these gas canisters came out of nowhere, and then Batman says, "Go! Get out of here!" Yeah, and now, GCPD officers or the SWAT team just broke in all of a sudden. Yeah, these officers kind of know what they are doing, if you want to know, so yeah. Batman has to get out of the GCPD building fast. Of course, Officer Brandon is right behind him, if you want to know. Oh my. Oh boy. Why do things do not get easy for Batman? That's to face a bunch of GCPD officers who have like 2 guns. Since he has the disruptor, he might be able to jam their weapons that do not fire. So he is able to do that. Hello. I can't believe how would anybody got themselves out alive. But Batman did. He's able to get out of the GCPD, straight to the elevator, straight up to the top of the roof, and that's where Jim Gordon comes in, and there was some kind of standoff. He says, and all that. Of course, Officer Brandon doesn't care if Captain James Gordon does get in the way or not. He will fire, however, but Batman had to use a smoke pellet right in front of them with a vanishing smoke screen. So he was able to get himself out, stopping the GCPD officers who were crooked, but not James Gordon or Jim Gordon. Oh boy. Of course, Detective Harvey Bullock is there working for GCPD. He only shows up on these cutscene cameos, and that's about it, as far as I know. now that Batman is out of the GCPD and it gathers all of what he's able to download of the archives, so he needs to go down under the sewers where the GCPD is at. Hopefully he can find a way to what happened next between the Penguin and Roman Sionis, also known as Black Mask. But I'm kinda spent on here, but I do believe we are going to stop here for the time being, and do not worry, we are going to continue to pick up from where we left off, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and tell me, what do you guys think of Arkham Twin Days? Do you like it or hate it or love it? I'm somewhat so on and so forth. Just mash that like button if you guys love Arkham Twin Days so much, so spectacular, so special. Remember, it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays only, and no, nothing else, okay? So don't bother asking. So, once again, this is Leo Wolverine saying, and speaking as always, as your sensational, amazing Spider-Man, who takes chances, makes mistakes, and get messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom! Remember, the Dark Knight is always watching you, and so am I. And why did I say that? Because it's true. There's more to come for part 2, because this is part 1 of Arkham Twin Days of the Arkham origin story. So yeah, that's about it. Number 2 is coming on for just after number 1. So hopefully I'll see you guys later for more of Arkham Twin Days.